I play Richie Boyle, who is kind of the heir to the Boyle family throne, I guess. He's the son of Roy Boyle, who sort of runs the business, runs the block, kind of owns the neighborhood, So Richie's very, comes from a very sort of privileged upbringing. He wants to be, he feels very empowered in the family business. He kind of runs the show. He runs the crew a little bit. He's sort of the number two behind his pops. He calls the shots. He's probably a little protected around town too. Oh, he's a gangster, by the way. Richie and Leonard have a pretty surface relationship until we dive into the story that we see in the film. Um, um, Leonard owns Leonard's shop is sort of a drop zone for us, and we kind of use it as we will for the business. And I mean, Richie likes Leonard. I think he gets a kick out of him. I think he always tries to get him to talk or something because he thinks he's got a funny accent, and he's probably the only, person with any kind of accent he's ever even known in his life. You know what I mean? It's a different time. It's 1950s Chicago. So Richard gets a kick out of Leonard, I think. But yeah, I'm not so sure that Leonard. I don't know what Leonard thinks of Richie. I think maybe I don't think he loves him being in his space so much. He definitely owns every space that he walks into. But yeah, he likes him. He likes Leonard. Richie and Francis have a complicated relationship, I guess you could say. Francis is sort of like Richie's adopted, adopted brother. The Boyle family, Richie's dad, Roy, pulled Francis off the streets. They're cut from different cloths. Francis is very much so a raw, tested, has survived and weathered a hard life. He's a very hardened character, whereas Richie, I think he wants people to think he's like that. He wants to be that for sure, but I think he was raised a much cozier lifestyle, obviously. Richie and Mabel are, I don't know, I think, she's the cute girl from the shop that he wants to take out. I think Richie's good with girls. I think those are the things, he likes leaning into the things that he's good at, things that he's better at than Francis too, I think, He gets the girl, he's a good time, he's a good night out, Yeah, I think he definitely likes Mabel, but I think when we kind of first see them, it sort of might be one of their first times that he's kind of taken her out. Richie's so eager to prove himself because all he's ever searched for and wanted is his father's approval. And I think that's sort of dictated his entire life, especially, yeah, when you've thrown Francis into the equation, I think Richie's, I think he's the weakest of the four chess players that we sort of see in this movie, but he's not totally weak. I think, he has had to endure a life under his father's microscope, which is not easy. It's a different kind of hard. But with that comes a lot of daddy issues. I think he desperately seeks his father's approval. And I think when Francis comes into the picture and he sees that out of nowhere comes this guy, who just immediately steps in as being sort of that son that, that ideal sort of son that Roy has always wanted. And Richie can see that and he knows that and he can feel that. I think it's the worst thing that can happen to him.